We're now recording, and it's not going into, there we go, oops.
Perfect.
All right, there we go.
There we go. Okay, guys, here we are at webinar number 2, February 12th. It is my 40th birthday. So there's no better way to celebrate my 40th than by sharing storybook reading with you guys. So you can go to the next slide. Okay, on this slide, same as the last time, I'm just giving you the public website. I'm going to have each of these at the beginning of each webinar. The public website that's good for overview and research information. Like I said last time, you can share that with other teachers, administrators, anyone who just wants to know the lowdown on what Foundations for Literacy is. Then there's the private website, and that's for all the teachers. It's got professional development videos, supplemental materials, anything that you could be using in your classroom for like special tips and different things. Next slide. Okay, but I already read to my students, and that's what a lot of teachers think. And here's the thing about storybook reading is that it's nothing new. Like, it's been around forever, but it's just sometimes I think we get in the habit of taking 5 to 10 minutes and reading a story, which is always good. But the difference between just storybook reading and this type of storybook reading, which is also known as dialogic reading, is that it's interactive. It's not a teacher reading a story and the kids sitting there passively listening. You know, you're going to want to engage them. So the big difference is that this one is an evidence-based practice. It's for parents as well as teachers, reading to both hearing as well as deaf and hard of hearing students. Like when I went to school, I just remember passive listening. I don't remember all of the interactive dialogues and making students a part of the story. Next slide. Storybook time, what does it promote? So when you do it with the ways that we're going to be talking about, you're promoting new vocabulary, you're promoting productive language, you're promoting vocabulary through the use of definitions. I'll say this, which we're going to go over in just a minute. But when you choose your vocabulary, the way that you're going to embed them within your lessons and within your story time is going to help them learn new vocabulary and also productive language. You're going to expand their language. You're going to promote language comprehension, narrative understanding, and also conversation in general. Like when you've been doing the Miss Giggle lessons, you've been working on sequencing. When you go through the first, we're going to do this. Next, we're going to do this. Then we're going to do this. You're promoting that narrative understanding so that then when they get to a story retell situation, they're going to already be familiar with sequential language, like first, next, then last. And they'll be able to incorporate those terms into their story retell. When we go back to the questions, like with conversations, that's going to be one section of this, is you're going to be promoting conversation through open-ended questions. And there's certain questions and types that work out better than others. So we're going to go over that, and I'll show you the bookmark. I had that in my last webinar, but there's a picture of a bookmark that I use for like a cheat sheet. Next slide. Okay, storybook time, what does it involve? This is sometimes the hardest part, is like, when can I fit this in? Because you have so many things you're trying to get through during the day. So I totally understand that it's hard to think of when to fit another item into your day. The nice thing about storybook time, though, is that you can do it within your Foundations for Literacy chunk, if you're lucky enough to have a 45 to an hour-long chunk of your day. If not, it's literally just 10 to 15 minutes. So it could be before you start. That could be like your morning activity. It could be during snack time, during lunch time. If your kids are really little and they get a nap time, it could be pre-nap. It's also good for a closing activity at the end of the day. Make sure I covered all those. The purpose of it, again, is to use the techniques we're going to outline in these slides. It's not I read, you listen. Again, it's an interactive reading. So you're going to read that book 3 to 4 times in the week with purpose. The biggest thing it involves is preparation, which last webinar was also about preparation. It's all about being organized. If you're organized and you have your materials out and ready to go, everything's going to be smooth sailing. So I'm going to show you how to prepare for your storybook lesson. Next slide. Here we go. Preparation. First step, choose a book. Now, choosing a book could be based on a theme that you're doing within your classroom or your department at school. It could also be because of a holiday. If you have some kids that are hard to engage, you could literally choose a book just based on their interest level. Or you could also go, I think it's on page 8 of your manual, we have suggested list of themes. So some of them make sense where it might be like a pumpkin type story, an apple orchard story in the fall. Others might not make as much sense, so you might want to find a different book for that time. But those are usually the different options for basing it on a theme. Your second step is going to read the book. You never want to read the book, a cold read in front of them for the first time, because the whole point of this storybook preparation is that you're choosing vocabulary to promote, new words that you think that you would like them to learn. So you're not going to want to read the book for the first time in front of them. Third step, you're going to select novel vocabulary. So, and again, you'll see this on my next slide. There'll be a picture of this. But what I do is I'll get a book and then I'll read through the whole book and I'll just kind of jot down words that I like. And then I'll go through at the end and I'll choose 4 to 6 words I want to focus on. And usually I choose those by making sure maybe a couple are nouns, so that way kids that maybe have a harder time picking up language, usually nouns will be a little bit easier for them. And then I'll pick 2 adjectives and 2 verbs. So that way it kind of covers all the bases. The fourth step is going to be write child-friendly definitions for them. So I think the big thing with the words that you choose is that if you have to pull out a dictionary or Google for a good definition, then that's not a good word to choose. Go to a different word, because you want it to be child-friendly. Just something that you can think up off the top of your head to make a short, quick, concise definition. Your fifth step is going to be to create picture support. And this is when I do go to my friend Google and I look up pictures that go along and kind of, they show each of my vocabulary words. I will say this, we're going to talk about, in our next webinar, we're going to talk about assessment. One thing that you can use for assessment is the storybook definitions and vocab. So I would, and we'll get into this later next week, but when you're choosing your picture support, sometimes it's good to choose 2 pictures for each word. And I'll tell you about that next week, why you might want to do that. Your 6th step is going to be to tape one set to the back of the chosen storybook. So you've chosen your words, you've found your picture support, you've printed them out. So what I used to do is I would cut all of them and use painter's tape, because painter's tape is not going to mess up any book. It doesn't create damage. So you can tape them to the back of your book for easy access, which you're going to see on the next slide. Next slide.
I want to interrupt real quick. So I've been looking at the CLAD's vocabulary for success. Have you seen the vocabulary for success from CLAD?
No.
Been done out of the University of Arizona, because it's very similar to what you're saying about using those child-friendly definitions and picture support. And they have like a strategic way to present those vocabulary, very similar to what you were saying. It was specifically developed for deaf and hard of hearing at a very young age. So
that sounds great.
If this would match very well with that. Okay.
Definitely. No, that would be great. Anytime that you can, not have to recreate the wheel. Yeah, definitely do that.
Jennifer Catalano from Flagler College was on that research team in Arizona. She's now a professor at Flagler, so we're trying to wrangle her to see if she'll do a presentation on that for us. Yeah,
that would work out really well. Because I just think that's the biggest thing, that if you have to take too long to figure out the definition, then that's not a word that they need to learn. You want it to be easy.
And then they have a way with like the pictures about how to select the pictures and everything. That was really great.
Yes, I would like to read that.
With those cards. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And this is what I was talking about. This is your picture support for the picture support. Okay, on the left side is where I have my little steps. Choose a book. And this book, I was looking for a book that had a lot of adjectives in it. So I chose Daphne the Diamond Fairy. And I will say that if you're needing to work on adjectives and adverbs, this whole series is amazing. There's like Daphne the Diamond Fairy. There's an Emerald Fairy, a Sapphire Fairy. I can't remember all their names. But there's all different fairies, and they're adorable. And they have a pumpkin one. So over there I have choose a book, and then you read the book looking for my words. So those 3 columns have all the different words that I liked in the book. So then I went back and I circled, like I said, 6 words that I chose to focus on. And then I sketched out kind of like a quick definition for them. So like boutique, I have a small fancy shop. Sketched a quick drawing. Just really short, quick definitions that it won't take away from the story when you're reading them. Because when you embed the definitions, you want to keep the flow of the book. Then the picture on the right shows you how I used to use the painter's tape to put them on the back of my book. Because that way, as I get to, we'll get to this, but as I get to that, specific word I'm targeting, I can grab the picture, show it to them, plop it on the table, keep going. And I don't lose them, which is also a big thing for me. Next step. Oh, let me say this too. You don't have to go back, but I'll say I have on here, on that private link at the beginning of the webinar, that second slide, I have the private link, and then also on the USB that you got at training, it has 8 storybooks that I made for you guys. They're like ready to go. So what I would suggest is saving those for weeks that like things are just insane and you do not have, there's my dog, and you don't have the time to make your storybook, then those are always there for you to fall back on. And when I did the 8 books, I tried to use classics that most of the kids should know. Like there's little ones for like little kids, like Mouse Paint, and then there's Corduroy, and there's Harry the Dirty Dog, and different stories like that. And when I chose the vocabulary to give you guys, I did like a whole page. So there's, if you're tearing up or tearing down, you have younger kids or older kids or new language learners, I've got all different options to choose from with definitions and everything ready to go. And pictures. So save those. Next slide. Oh, no, just kidding. Stay there because you already went. Okay. So this is your first read. So you've chosen your book. You have chosen your words. You got your definitions. You got your pictures on the back of it. So now what? So the first time you read that book to the kids, you're going to read the book in its entirety. So that means the whole thing, all the words. You're going to embed the short child-friendly definitions you created for your vocabulary words that you chose. So I give the example of the word drizzle. So if I was like reading a book and this was the book, then I would say, the storm turned into a drizzle. That means slow, heavy rain. Oh, so I can't read that part under there. Slow rain, not heavy rain, until the sun came back out from behind the clouds. Okay, so like you're going to read it, show the picture, put it down so that we can like, kind of soak it in, but you're going to keep on moving. Like you're not going to take time to answer questions or talk about things. You want to keep the comments to a minimum for the first read so they can hear the flow of it. Next slide. Subsequent reads. So a lot of times people are like, holy cow, I'm reading the same book like for 4 times in a week. Like that is so boring. You're not. So a storybook, again, everything's very purposeful. So first read, yes, it is reading all the way through its entirety and trying to keep comments to a minimum. So then for your second, third, and fourth reads, you're gonna be rereading portions of the book. So you can choose different parts that you want to hit. You still want to embed your vocabulary instruction in it, and you're going to start engaging them. So with these subsequent reads, you're trying to move from like teacher talk to more child talk. So, and this is where my storybook bookmark comes into play, which again is also on your USB drive under storybook. You're going to ask them intentional questions that encourage the use of targeted vocabulary. You're going to encourage meaningful conversations with back and forth interactions, expand on their answers and elaborate, and encourage all kids to participate. And we're going to get to all of these pieces in just a minute. But you're, like with those third and fourth read, you're really trying to pull the vocabulary and pull the language out of them. On Fridays, so like say you're going with a typical Foundations for Literacy schedule and you're doing Monday through Thursday for your lessons. On Friday, what do? So if we'd had a full 5-day week, I used to use Fridays as an extension activity. So I have an example that I made to myself to remember to tell you. So like if we did mouse paint, then we would mix real paints and paint with them. If we did corduroy, we had a teddy bear picnic. If we did Harry the Dirty Dog, then I might get some plastic dogs, make them dirty with pudding or something, and or dirt or mud, and then they would wash them. So you can really have fun with the Friday ones. Sometimes we do a play where they would take turns being the different characters, or we'd make puppets and they'd do a puppet theater show. So just depending on the age of your kids and your time frame, you could use Friday as an extension. Next slide. Storybook time, guiding the conversation. So this is what I was talking about the bookmark. Again, I showed you this in the first webinar. But with this one, it's just really nice to have a cheat sheet next to you On one side is the peer, and then the other side has the crowd questions. So I'm just giving you the example of types of questions. Again, this is on the USB drive, so if you were to print it out, fold it in half, and trim it up a little bit, you could laminate it like this. And I chose an obnoxiously, bright tassel for it so that I could find it easily and I wouldn't lose it. Okay, so types of questions. C stands for completion prompt. So if you're reading the rainbow fish, you might say something like, oh, the fish with the beautiful colored scales is the, and you'd wait for them to complete your expectant glance. The second kind is recall. So R is for recall questions. And that would be a question like, oh, what did the little fish ask for from the rainbow fish? And you're wanting them to answer with, a shiny scale. O stands for open-ended questions. Open-ended would generally just be like, what happens next? W stands for WH questions, like, who lives in an aquarium? And they might tell you fish, starfish, all different kinds of animals. And D stands for distancing questions. And that's when you're wanting to take any kind of prior knowledge they have and bring it back to that book. It's kind of like a text to real world connection. So that one would be like, oh, last week we went to the aquarium. What animals did you see? So again, just trying to engage them by different types of questions. So you're not always asking the same kind to try and get more language that you can build upon and pull out of them. Next step. Slide. So storybook is for everyone. I think this is a big deal too, because the last group that I taught, and when you watch some of my videos on the private webpage, then you'll see like the kids that I had that last year, I had 6 of them. I had 2 that were going to be mainstreaming that following year and probably need just very minimal support, maybe speech. And that was going to be it. And then I had 2 kids, like one that came to me learning to how to speak and talk and listen for the first time at age 6, and another one who had gone through cancer treatment and had lost her hearing through chemo. And you didn't know which child you're going to get on which day because everything kind of fluctuated. So I think the big thing to push on everyone is that it's for everybody. So even if a child doesn't have much language, you don't want to not call on them. It's easy to look out and want some language or to show off when you're having an observation or something, and you have those kids that are always so ready to answer and talk to you, but you really want to make sure everyone's involved so they feel like they're a part of it. So an example that I give on this one is to expand each child's language by adding vocabulary and grammar. So if you were to say, who's that? And the child said, that fish. You would say something like, you're right, that fish is the rainbow fish. So you took those 2 words that they gave you, and you're giving them more back. Then here's a different kind of example. So then if you're hitting up a child that maybe doesn't have much spoken language or just expressive language in general, the prompt might be, what's happening? And the child sits there smiling at you or nods. And you would give them the answer. You would say, they are swimming. And then you'd prompt them again. What are they doing? They are expectant glance. Maybe they'll say swimming, maybe they won't. If they don't say it again, you're just going to give it to them. So just because they might not have the answers, you still want to include them and just give them the answer. Next slide.
I just got to butt in. That's corrective feedback, and I love that you said that. We don't leave them just waiting forever and just leaving them dying. It's always give them the correct answer and make it a positive experience and move on. And there's
want them to feel involved. Like I said, some of them, they're just totally not, but just give it to them. Give it to them. Let them be involved. Again, I put the same resources I did last time over on the left side of the Atlanta Speech School has some really good, or these might be different actually than the last one I put up here. There's videos of teachers engaging in interactive storybook reading that are at the Atlanta Speech School where I used to work. So there's a link for that. And then also the Atlanta Speech School, part of our programs like the Cox campus and Rollins Center, and they have downloadable storybooks with embedded vocabulary. So again, you've got the 8 that I've done for you on the USB, and then you also have these that you can go to on the Speech School's website and get. And I think they're, because those kids don't have a hearing loss, if you're working with maybe higher age children, I think those storybooks might be a little bit more suited for older kids. And then I also give the example, this book that I put the picture of on here, Jim's Release did this book, it's the Read Aloud Handbook, and a lot of people use this like a Bible. And what's cool about that book is that it gives child-friendly definitions for over 100 higher-level words, and he's grouped them by wordless books. I'm gonna make a note of it. There's wordless books, predictable text, reference, short novels, full novels, fairy tales, poetry, kind of the whole gamut that he has put together in a nice grouping so that you can kind of go through and see what you might be able to use.
So this sounds like a book we should recommend for our loan library. We have a professional loan library, and
yes,
we love to hear about great books to add to our loan library to help our teachers out sometimes.
I don't know where I put mine. I had it out. Obviously, I took a picture of it, but I would show it to you. But it's really good, like the way it has a layout. And he kind of goes through, like, what is storybook reading? What is this? What is that? And there's even a chapter on how to involve dads.
Oh, wow.
I love it because a lot of times we focus on the moms.
Yeah. I like the fact that it's got the definitions.
Yes.
Like you said. And I actually went to those different links and got lost at all the great resources and how it just
so much
explicitly. And I even shared them on our Facebook page. I think I might even share them. And they really were great.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, because it's like, again, because I think I did this for 7 years, and it was like and then when I was doing all the coaching, I think one of the hardest things is people are like, I don't have time. Like, when am I supposed to find the time to sit down and do all these pieces I need for each of these books? And that's what I was hearing loud and clear. And that's when I did the 8. So that way, if there is a week that you don't have a chance to do that, you don't have the time for whatever reason, there's 8 that you can fall back on. And then with the downloadable ones with the speech school, same thing. Like, you've always got those. And I do think they're better for the older kids or the more experienced language learners.
Great.
Next slide. Question and answer.
I would like to take a minute and, let's see, not stop sharing. I want to see if I can pull up where's my hard drive? I think I have the whole thumb drive on my, so maybe you can help us. So here's this, so you said Storytime.
Yeah, go to Storybook Time Resources. And then this is where I've done Bearfield. These are the 8 that I've done, plus the, it should have the bookmark on there.
Hold on, I went to the other screen. Oh, darn it.
I don't see it on there. But yeah, click on that.
I had it in full screen.
There you
go. Pull it up. So this is the example you were talking about, where you've got your vocabulary words already picked. It looks like the page number, the child-friendly definition.
Mm-hmm.
This looks very much like the CLADS Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, vocabulary for success. Oh, at least they finally have a program that's not an F.
I know, right? And obviously, this is why I went through and I did it for you. So you've got 8 weeks done. And you can go through and, like that list I did, I went through and tried to choose some, again, that are some nouns, some adjectives, different ones. And you can also act out some. I put those in italicized and red because you don't always have to have like a picture cue for one. It can be acting one out.
Ooh, amends. What a tricky word to teach.
Mm-hmm. I tried to do tearing up and tearing down with those.
And then
and Farfallina is one of my favorite. Oh, yeah, that's a blank one. So you can use that if you need one to fill in for yourself.
What is this one?
I love Farfallina and Marcel. It's one of my favorites. It's just the cutest book. It's about 2 friends that love each other so much, and they lose touch, and they come back and find each other again, and it's just sweet. And it would be a good one for like the springtime, because there is a butterfly in it. Oh, and I have a Happy Valentine's Day mouse, I think. Is that happy? Yeah, I have Daphne the Diamond Fairy on here. I think it's Happy Valentine's Day mouse. Yep. There you go. Here's a Valentine one. Simple language, but if you're, sometimes you just need a book like that for concepts too.
Definitely. And then you said the bookmark was on here?
Yeah, it should be something like frequently used. Storybook Time. Oh, that's where we were. I thought it was under the resources. The Storybook Time resources, but it wouldn't be, but I'm not seeing it on there. Kill the rabbit, olive, mouse paint.
I know I saw it somewhere.
Maybe it's frequently used materials? Nope. Yeah, it should be under storybook. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing it. Well, if you can't end up finding it, I'll email it to you because it should be under storybook.
And I just want to click on this link real quick and show you. Yeah. I thought this was great too.
My dog.
Maybe I didn't quite get it. Oh, it's not working.
Here's the thing too, like anyone who's watching this, like if there's something, this is what the whole refresher stuff's about. You know, we're going over stuff that you already know, just kind of refreshing you. But if there's something else you need help with, like let me know because I am here to help. Anything to help my fellow teacher be more successful. Well, having time to figure something out, or if you need something, just let me know.
So there's the read aloud. I love that it had all the little videos to support you on doing this. I thought that was great. And then that's the read strategy. And there was the talk strategy. I like that too, talking to them. And then where were the books?
Read strategy.
No, I saw it.
They've changed their website since the last time I looked. It's probably under, I would think it'd be under professional development. My parent resources would be good too.
Those
are all the different books you can download.
These are what I was looking through. We have the book right there, which this would work really well on a smart board too. Having the book.
Here, go up a little bit. No, other way. Yeah, right there. So this is perfect too because I would make a copy of that and send it to my parents. The part where it has 1, 2, 3.
Oh, this part?
Yeah, like the first read, second read, third read. Because I mean, parents can be doing this no problem at home. So anything to promote more language and make it an active activity with their child. So I would make a copy of that little piece and send it home. I will say too that all of these books, these Rollins Center books about Amari and TJ, if you request copies, you can get copies of them.
Oh, wow. Even here in Florida?
Yeah.
Awesome.
We kind of like you Floridians, so they'll send them to you. There's my info.
And again, Julie is available via the Basecamp to answer any questions, specific questions. And if you need coaching specific to your classroom, she's available to do that. I know not everybody can get in on these meetings, and that has been, you know, that time of day, but we do have that service until the end of this school year. So if people want to participate, we do have that available for anyone in the state of Florida that has already gone through the training, that you guys can get the coaching that you need. We have the Go React platform that you can submit a video, and only Julie or one of the RMTC team would see that video and provide you guys feedback. And if you want to share that with your principals, if you think you did a great job, you can share that with them as evidence for documenting your own progress. But it is just for personal feedback, and that is only though till the end of this school year, June 30th. So
I will say also that even if you don't take me up on that, it's always like, even during storybook, like record yourself and watch it back and see if you really are, because a lot of times you think you're doing things that you're really not doing, and just see where you can implement different parts of it that maybe you forget to.
Right. And again, even if you don't want to do a video, we also can do it via email. So any questions, comments, feedback, and if there's anything you want us to address in the next 2 webinars, please let us know what those are. And the next one is, I've actually forgotten.
It's assessment.
Assessment.
Data collection.
And then the tearing up and tearing down, which
Yep.
is very specific for itinerant, not specific, but really
Right.
more applicable for itinerant. And that, I think, was on the thumb drive too, wasn't it? The tearing up.
Should be. Yeah, I went through all of the lessons in the manual and rewrote them. Like if you only had a specific time frame of like 30 to 45 minutes, here's what you need to hit. So I dropped certain things that weren't crucial if you don't have that amount of time. So it's kind of geared towards itinerant teachers and teachers who are teaching older children.
Did I see that? Yeah, there's so many. That's the other tricky thing is having the
I
two
know.
look.
I'll send you the storybook bookmark again because it should be in that file. I'm not sure why it's not.
I know I saw
I
it.
know it's in there.
It may be on the website, but either way, it's a great
I know
read.
it's there too.
So, but okay. So that's it for today. If we don't have any questions, I know we have one person in the room. If you guys want, I don't know who it is. I don't know if you're calling in, and if that's the reason I can't see who it is to see if they had any specific questions. But if you email us questions because you're on the phone, we can always get those questions answered pretty quickly. So
Definitely.
I'm going to stop the recording. Maybe. There we go.